Hey guys, King of Charmaster, and I'm super excited. Oh wait, hold on, this is the wrong. No wait, this is the right league. Okay, no. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, wait, what? Okay. Never mind. Give me 1 second. Okay, that's Great League. This is Ultra League. Just waiting for it to load. Anyways, I'm super excited because, oh my gosh, the team I created, and I literally broke into PV Poke forever, or been trying to, or practiced really hard and ran a bunch of sims, is actually the second most powerful team on PvPoke.com. It's really hard to get a 580 rating. As you see here, the smaller, at about 1%, it's about the small, like a small sample size. So like usually, as you see here, if it's like 1% or close to it, it may be the result of an individual player and yield lower confidence. So that means basically me and about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 others, or 6 actually, we're trying to break in teams in the top 10. Unfortunately, I didn't overtake the top team. The top team does feature Giratina O, Lapras, and Registeel, which actually overtook my team by 3 points. So I wasn't too upset about that, but like, you know what, I like having a team in the top 5 with an XL, as you see here, that doesn't use like Giratina, like the Gira Regicore, which has been powerful forever, even it's a Giratina O. I'm still pretty proud I was able to do it. As you see here, the difference between the first team and the third team is literally, it's just the version of Giratina. So out of the top 3, I did not use Giratina, which makes me pretty happy. That or Registeel. So the only mon that I have that's really super meta is probably Cresselia, is literally Cresselia. Other than that, it's awesome. I'm super happy. It's super hard to build for you, like to see here, like it's so hard to build a top team or even break one into PvPoke.com. It's insanely difficult because of how many other players and battlers are trying to run sims and trying to figure out how things work on their own. So to break in a team, well, I'm not really surprised. This is the 7th time I've broken in a top team on PvPoke.com. As difficult as it is, I know how to crack the code and I've done it consistently. But I've never done it in Ultra League, so it makes me pretty happy. I have now broken in a top 5 team in Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. So Ultra League was my only bucket list off, so this is awesome, and I didn't expect to be at number 2. And yeah, so number 2, a 580. This team's still really good, as you see here. Like, the one, how I made it to Legend was I had really bad IVs, so my back row actually has really bad IVs. And it really matters because specific matchups actually do flip. And I use the same IVs for the simulator. So I was using a bad IV Cresselia and a bad IV Excavalier for the simulator and still broke it in the second top team. Super exciting, and like I said, second most powerful team overall statistic. Alright, so as you see here, you can actually go straight from the top teams into the ladder, and it will actually auto-generate the rating for you, as you see here. Now, the thing about this team is that I've already featured a team on it before. This team actually took me to Legend, so it's not only statistically good, but I've actually performed it and made Legend with this team. As you see here, it's B's across the board, good bulk, good safety, and good consistency. It doesn't have A's, but it does well. Now, the coverage is bad overall, but the coverage is basically a synopsis of the entirety of Ultra League. However, the reason why this team does so well is because there are plays out. I can play out of bad leads. So there's always a win con unless I get super RPS'd, and of course it's very difficult to come back from a team that fully rock paper scissors you. So as you see here, the team does very well. You can actually beat Cresselia, as you see here against the meta, you can actually beat Cresselia with Obama Snow. You have to give up a shield, so you'll get out of this in probably the so you'll probably come out of the lead with down a shield, so they'll have 2 shields, you have 1. But if you hit 2 energy balls on Cresselia, and especially if you do get the debuff, you could hit 2 energy balls, and then you can weather ball down. If you get lucky and get the debuff, then you can hit 2 weather energy balls and hit 1 weather ball, and that will KO Cresselia. You should be able to farm it down. Against Registeel, you safe switch into Cresselia and hope to get out of the match, and hopefully you can realign Registeel into Excavalier and beat it down with Excavalier. Of course, the biggest weakness of this team is Steel types. However, Cresselia is your safe switch. The basis of it is to run down the clock with Cresselia, or if they try to stay in, hopefully you get the debuff or you're able to take it out with Cresselia. If you can't take out Cresselia, let Cresselia go and then farm down with Excavalier. And hopefully all the energy you have is enough to take out whatever's in the back. As you see here, you are very strong against Swampert and Giratina Altered. Those are 2 big targets. You can also beat Articuno. So the only really big hole in this team is Articuno and Ho-Oh. Now, you can beat Articuno in the 2 shield, so if they throw their Articuno into you as kind of like a safe, or if you get Articuno in the lead, you actually beat Articuno with Abomasnow, straight Weather Ball. So you win this matchup in the 2 shield. So don't worry too much about Articuno, you beat it in the 2 shield, and like I said, usually you'll see Articuno in the lead or the back. If you get in the lead with Abomasnow, it's great because you win the lead if straight Weather Ball. Now, you lose against Armored Mewtwo, as you see here. You can beat Armored Mewtwo 2 in the lead, but you're gonna give up a shield. So you're gonna give up a shield. So the play is to Energy Ball, like double Energy Ball, and basically same play as Cresselia. However, you are gonna eat a move, and if Mewtwo is rocking Rock Slide and Dynamic Punch, it's really bad because it's going to suck a lot. So you still have play against Mewtwo. You also beat Alolan Muck, straight Weather Ball. And you're gonna lose against Machamp. However, what you can do is Weather Ball and try to force Machamp. So come out of this matchup with a shield advantage, or try to just straight Weather Ball. If you straight Weather Ball, Machamp will still beat you. However, you can come, like I said, you can come out with shield advantage, and you can farm down Machamp with Cresselia or Excavalier, whichever one you choose. The biggest problem of this team is definitely Ho-Oh. The thing about Ho-Oh is Ho-Oh beats Obama and Cresselia. So, I mean, Obama, Excavalier, and Cresselia. Fire types are the worst for this team because Cresselia I'm using Rocks, Moonblast, and Grass Knot. There are ways to win, but you basically have to beat down Ho-Oh and be really risky because there's plenty of situations where I've beaten Ho-Oh with Abomasnow, with Weather Ball, or even Drilling of Excavalier, but they're very close matches because Incinerate just wrecks this team, or any fire type in general, just because fire types do resist Cresselia's Moonblast, and it's Grass Knot. You do have play against Lapras and Snorlax, but those aren't very common. If you see Lapras try to straight Energy Ball it to death, if the one Energy Ball lands, if they let both Energy Ball land, you basically win, but you can straight Energy Ball that or come out with shield advantage. If the Lapras goes to a Skull Bash, try to shield, because if you get hit with a Skull Bash, it's really going to suck for your Abomasnow. As you see here, your biggest threats, like I mentioned before, are fire types. Fire types are your worst nightmare. That's why that literally, out of 7 types, you're fire. But fire really is the only thing that you have to worry about. If you manage to get a team without fire, or if you get the fire in the back row and you win alignment, you could possibly take it out with Drill Run, or just chip away at it with Cresselia or Abomasnow. Now, the biggest threat of this team is Articuno, but like I mentioned, you can beat Articuno with Abomasnow in the 2 shield, so as long as you catch Articuno in 2 shield with Abomasnow, you're pretty safe. There's also a lot of instances where I beat down Articuno with Excavalier, or I've literally charged moves to death with the Cresselia, just because, like I said, you still have a great matchup against Articuno. It's not a bad matchup with Abomasnow. So as you see here, your biggest weakness is fire as well as steel types. If you lose the lead, switch into Cresselia. Try to take back switch with Moonblast and Grass Knot. If you can't, let Cresselia go, farm down Excavalier, and hope that Abomasnow and Excavalier, with you losing switch advantage, can take out whatever's in the back. Alright, we got our first match. Unfortunately, we are gatekeeping. I get my Abomasnow into a Gramble. Okay, so the first thing I try to recognize is whether or not this is a Snarl or a Charm Gramble. As you see here, it is Charm. My opponent does catch a Weather Ball. That's perfectly fine. All I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into my Excavalier. I'm going to go straight Mega Horn. For some odd reason, 9 times out of 10, if this is a Cresselia or a Mewtwo, they don't shield the Mega Horn for some odd reason. They think you're baiting. However, if it does land, guess what? It KOs! And guess what? We have a almost full HP Excavalier, and we can get to another Drill Run. As you see here, well, not another one, but this is our first Drill Run. But as you see, I'm going to break a shield here, and then we're going to let our Excavalier go. Now, my opponent might actually try to farm me down, but actually right here, they do fire a move. This is great because now this Surfetch is energy dry, and then what I can do is I can send in Cresselia and try to figure out whether or not I'm going to get Burb to Oblivion, or if this is Night Slash. I don't shield, and as you see, I do get Brave Birded. Oh, the salt is too real, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bait this Charm Gramble, and I'm gonna bait your shield. So, we get the bait. Haha, I get back my revenge. Well, not so much. I don't know, like, a bird seems to be a lot more vengeful than an actual, like, calling a bait. So, there you go. Or, like, forcing a bait from your opponent. I'm gonna go straight for the Energy Ball, as you see here. I probably shouldn't go and double Weather Ball and see if that KO is there, but I don't think one Weather Ball does KO at that range. Besides, I have a shield, and I can send in my Cresselia with its energy, and I should be able to fire for Grass Knot and take out this Surf Edge. What you want to do is you want to figure out whether or not it's a Snarl or Charm Grapple, because here's the thing. You can survive Crunch from a Gramble, you can't survive a close combat. So what likely is your opponent's going to do is they're going to start gathering energy, and they're going to try to eat you with close combat. As you see here, it was a Charm Gramble, so if it's a Charm Gramble, just go straight for the Weather Ball, and they might try to swap out, as you saw there. For the second battle, we're not gatekeeping, unfortunately. I'm just kidding. Good luck to everyone that's still trying to get Legend. You have plenty of time. You're gonna make it. As you see, I do get a mirror, and the first thing I look at in the mirror is the top right. I want to see the CP of my opponent's Mons, and unfortunately, this is not an X Obama. Well, it is an X Obama, just not powered up, or this might be a perfect that's slightly powered up. As you see here, we're just gonna go straight for Weather Ball. I should outbulk this Obama Snow because I have the higher IVs. What they do is they do bank two Weather Balls, as you see here. However, I did get that extra Powder Snow in, so I should be able to get 2 Weather Balls before they do. We fired the second Weather Ball. I don't know if they're going to shield or not, and they do not. And now I'm going to attempt to farm down here. Unfortunately, they do get the Weather Ball, and they live with like 1 HP. So I'm like, wow, okay, I'm going to shield here, and then I'm going to throw a Weather Ball at whatever comes in out. So, they actually give up switch here, for some odd reason. So, I fire the Weather Ball, I let my Mon go, and as you see here, we're just going to send in Cresselia, and we're going to go straight Grass Knot. But I didn't, at this point, I noticed, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so they actually gave up switch. So, this Gyarados, as you see here, they still have 3, so that means my opponent still has a sack. I'm going to go straight Grass Knot here, because that one Psycho Cut might make a difference, and Grass Knot still does a decent chunk of damage. What I plan to do here is I'm going to either grab both of your shields, or I'm going to get you down in kill range and Psycho Cut you down to get more farm. As you see, I called a bait over here. I did call the bait. It was Aqua Tail, not a Crunch, and we're going to fire off another Grass Knot. My opponent does not shield, so we're going to try to farm down with Psycho Cut, and unfortunately, they send in their Shadow Swampert. As you see here, I'm going to go straight for the Grass Knot to force their last shield, and I should be able to send in my Excavalier. I actually go for a mega ballsy move and go for another Grass Knot. So I want them to blow their energy. I actually would have got there. The problem is this Swampert has a ton of energy now, so I can anticipate this Swampert possibly having 2 Hydro Cannons. As you see here, I'm going to shield this one. We're going to shield the first Hydro Cannon, and then I should be able to get to a Drill Run. Because this is a Shadow Swampert, it is not as bulky, but I have to be careful of several things. They might sack on me, and they do not. So, because they don't sack, I get the Mega Horn off. I think they were trying to get another Hydro Cannon off. Unfortunately, they could not, and I went CMP. Now, all I have to do is literally counter down. I'm going to counter the Gyarados, and then we're going to counter on this Pillman. That's 1 HP away, and that's GG's to my opponent. As you saw there, it kind of sucks because we lost, it lived by 1 HP, but we managed to come back and take the W. As you see, now I'm going to be gatekeep once more for this set, and we get an Obama Snow into a Melmetal. This is horrible, so we automatically switch to Cresselia. Here's the problem. My Cresselia's IVs are so bad, I don't win the zeros. So if they don't shield anything, I do not win that matchup. They switch into their Giratina, which actually isn't bad for them because they have Shadow Claw. As you see here, I get lucky enough and I get the debuff. This is awesome because with the debuff, even though I have crappy IVs for my Cresselia, I can now flip this matchup. Unfortunately, if you do have a bad IV Cresselia, you will lose the 2 shield against Giratina, sadly. And mine is crappy. As you see, I fire another Moonblast, and I get another debuff. At this point, I feel absolutely horrible, because now I am gatekeeping an opponent, and they just got debuffed twice. Back-to-back debuffs normally don't happen for me, if you could tell. I'm going to fire another Moonblast off. I can probably anticipate them to let this through and just let Giratina go, because and now I come out with shield advantage. And now I just go straight for the Grass Knot because I just want to do as much chip as I possibly can on this Melmetal. We take back switch. Unfortunately, this still isn't a comfortable match because this Melmetal can gain a ton of energy. Luckily enough, they do blow their energy here. I do need them to have less energy because 2 rock slides will KO my Excavalier. I'm sending Excavalier. As you see here, my opponent does not hesitate to bury my Bug Knight under a bunch of rocks. Actually, they do superpower, so that's even worse. They land a superpower, I do not shield, and we have a Heracross. This is actually really bad because, unfortunately, my Snowman isn't going to be able to take a lot of these counters, so we're going to go straight Weather Ball. I do have shield advantage, however, so that's nice. I'm also chunking away these Weather Balls, so this is going really well for me right now. I forgot I did have shield advantage, so as you see here, all we're going to do is just straight Weather Ball. There's no way they get to 2 moves. And if they do, I want to shield 1, and I should be able to get to the second one right here. Actually, I just let my Snowman go. I'm going to save all my shields for my Excavalier. As you see here, I think I expected them to have 2 back-to-back moves, as I saw here. They're going to back-to-back, now they're energy dry, and all I have to do is drill run this poor Melmetal, and that's GG's. They have no energy on their other Mon because I had to blow both of their close combats. The Melmetal goes down, and all I had to do was counter down the Heracross. That's GG's. That was a pretty rough match. If I did not get the debuff, I would have lost because those 2 fighters actually beat my Excavalier. I mean, my Abomasnow, so that would have been really bad. As you see here, we get another match. We do get a Swampert lead, which is nice because we beat that really hard. I stay in here with Abomasnow. I'm going to fire off a Weather Ball just because it's not going to be debuffed and it's going to do heavy damage, and I'm going to wait for them to Icy Wind me. I can expect an Icy Wind here. After I get Icy Winded and get debuffed, I'll switch out. This way, I clear the debuff and I have energy banked for my next Mon. As you see here, I'm going to switch out to Excavalier. When switching an Articuno into you like that, that's what you want to do. You want to fire off a Weather Ball, and then you want to like have them hit their Icy Wind just so they blow their energy. As you see here, my opponent does shield the Mega Horn, which kind of sucks because I kind of wanted that to go through, but it doesn't, and it's fine. It's likely an Icy Wind. I eat the Icy Wind, and all we're going to do is just straight drill run. I could possibly farm it down, as you see here, but unfortunately they get another Icy Wind, and I think this one actually auto-fires. Oh, it doesn't. So it doesn't auto-fire. I do go for the farm down play, and then I'm going to fire off a Mega Horn at what comes in. Unfortunately, it's a Togekiss, so this kind of sucks. I'm double debuffed. This won't do a lot of damage. However, we do have a Togekiss versus our Snowman, and I also have a Cresselia, so we're doing pretty well here. And we still have a shield. Now, I don't fire my Weather Ball right away because I'm anticipating a switch. It would be really, really awesome for my opponent to catch a Weather Ball rather than get hit by an Energy Ball. As you see here, no success. I'm able to fire off 2 Weather Balls and put a ton of pressure on my opponent. This won't kill, but it's gonna get close, and I'd be able to farm down the Togekiss, as you see here. I send in my Cresselia, and then I get the 2 Shield Flex. That's a GG, unfortunately. It's like Swampert into Abomasnow is great, because if they're not carrying Sludge Wave, you pretty much walled their Swampert, which is really, really good. This is my 5th and final match. As you see here, this team is very, very powerful. If you're able to get the debuff with Cresselia, you can flip the switch matchup, as you saw, I believe, in match 2. But it's, again, it got nerfed, so then it's only, like, I think, like 12 point something %. But this team is very, very powerful, and as you saw there, I was able to secure a lot of great plays with this team. Statistically, when I was running simulations and I was doing training sims, this team did very, very well, and it really does deserve its place as number 2. I made Legend this way, and even though I had really bad IVs, as I mentioned in the analysis, my Pokemon were still able to come through for me. That's right. Because, as I mentioned, like, through some of these matches, that bad IVs for your Cresselia and Excavalier can mean matches flip, and they do matter. We do get our final match. We get a Legend. We get Cresselia into Abomasnow. This is actually bad for us because what I need to do to take Switch here, or to win the lead, I actually need to land 2 Energy Balls. I do get 1 off, and the better thing is if I manage to get a debuff with either Energy Ball, I could go straight Weather Ball and take back the Switch. Otherwise, you're going to come out of this with a shield disadvantage, unfortunately. Depending on what my opponent does too, they can also try and catch one of my Weather Balls or my Energy Balls. As you see here, I'm going to go straight for the next Energy Ball. As I said before, I need to land 2. And speaking of getting caught by your Energy Balls getting caught, they switch a Ho-Oh in. This is the worst case scenario. I switch in Cresselia. Unfortunately, this is very, very bad. I do not want my Abomasnow or my Excavalier up against this Ho-Oh. What sucks even more is that you need to time all of your moves right in order to prevent any extra Incinerates from coming through. Fortunately, I do not get a debuff, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to hit Grass Knot and try to bait a shield. I'm going to eat this Earthquake or Brave Bird, and it is a Earthquake. That's good, because now we should be able to get to this Moonblast. Unfortunately, this is still a very, very rough matchup, as you see here. We're going to fire the Moonblast, and this thing is almost down. Now, I think I do believe I shield here because I want to Grass Knot this thing to oblivion. They actually Brave Bird, however, I'm going to try to Psycho Cut down, or my opponent switches out, which they do. They switch back into their Cresselia. I'm going to let this go, and then I'm going to switch into my Excavalier. This is still a very, very rough matchup, unfortunately. As you see, I bank a move. I switch out. I'm going to go for I'm going to build up to a Mega Horn, and then try to fire a Drill Run. Unfortunately, my opponent does have shield advantage. I can take all their moves, but because my IVs are so bad, that's what happens. And they do get the debuff. That's even worse. Luckily, I have a crappy IV Excavalier, so it can still do some damage. As you see here, this next Drill Run will kill my opponent. They're likely going to let it go because 1, I am debuffed, and 2, they still have Ho-Oh. I'm going to eat 1 Incinerate. An Incinerate is going to go through and hit me. They likely aren't going to shield this Drill Run, so I'm still in a very rough position. So the Drill Run goes through, it does KO, thankfully, and unfortunately, this Ho-Oh comes back in. We're able to actually counter it down before it comes back in, and out comes a Regirock. This is great. Not really great, actually. I fire this Drill Run off. I'm still debuffed, so this still isn't going to do a ton of damage. However, they do end up shielding it. And then I have all of this energy on my Cresselia. I do fire the Grass Knot off, trying to get this second shield. I do not, unfortunately. I might be able to get to another Grass Knot because my opponent has Lock On, because it's a Regirock. Spicy pick, but I just elect to eat the move anyways because it's a Stone Edge. I should be able to get to 2 energy balls, but what I do here is I actually don't know how many lock-ins it takes to get to another Stone Edge, so rather than risk it and my opponent has to call this bait, I do actually bait with Weather Ball. I believe 2 Weather Balls might KO anyways. However, I'm going to go for the Weather Ball to try to bait. And I grab the bait. All I have to do is hit the Energy Ball, and that should be GG's. I just did the bait just in case, but as you saw there, I might have been able to KO with Weather Ball, that, and then Excavalier comes in and then counters down if it does not. So I still had some win cons there, but like as you say, they're a long match, and that's GG's. My team is very powerful, made me very proud, and it took me to Legend, and this team is the #2 most powerful team on PvP. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. This is the first time I've ever broken a top team into Ultra League, so I wasn't expecting this team to actually be #2 of all the Great League all the Open Ultra League teams out here on PvPoke.com. It is very difficult to accomplish this just because there are so many other people, like battlers, that are actually trying out teams and simming at the same time. As you see here, the only way you know it's the result of an individual player is if it's a small sample size. As you see here, anything with basically a 1.0 to like, I would say like a 1.3, as you see here, are individual players trying to make a team work. So this is the first time I've ever cracked the Open Ultra code for a little bit, and I did it with X-Obama. As you see here, I managed to crack the top 4 with an X-Obama and with an Excavalier. So I'm really proud of this team, and like I said, if you have better IVs for Cresselia and Excavalier, you'll actually do better with this team than I did. Cresselia with good IVs and Excavalier with good IVs do flip matchups, and I just try to compensate that with basically like my player skill. I try to compensate for their IVs by just being a better player and just recognizing situations. If you do plan on using this team, it's very powerful, very effective statistically. I only build, like, what I love to do whenever I make rank 10 or 24, I've always made my own teams, but I've always trained and formulated so hard for them, and they've always showed up on PvPoke. Huge accomplishment for me. Like I said, it's the first time I've ever broken Ultra, and I hope if you do plan on using this team that it helps carry you to Legend like it did for me. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I do top team analysis like this all the time. I've consistently created top teams that can take you to Legend, and it's definitely been a joy. Like I like team building. I like analyzing stuff. That's what I do, and I hope it helps you out as well. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I'll see you guys on the next video.